Hey coin collectors and history lovers! Welcome back to your ultimate spot for rare coin facts, values, and stories behind the metal. Today, we're diving into one of America's most iconic coins, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. Is it just worth 50 cents? Or is there hidden value in your pocket change? Stick around, because we're uncovering the truth. First, a little history. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination in 1963. It was created as a tribute to the beloved 35th President of the United States, and it quickly became a symbol of national pride and remembrance. In 1964, the coins were 90% silver. But by the time we get to 1971 and beyond, including our coin today from 1974, there's no silver at all. Instead, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition, similar to quarters and dimes. Now let's take a look at the design of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. You'll see the left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. It includes the word Liberty, the date 1974, and the phrase, "In God We Trust." Designed by Frank Gasparo, the reverse features the presidential seal, a heraldic eagle with a shield, olive branch, arrows, and a ring of stars. The same basic design has been used for decades, making this coin instantly recognizable, but subtle differences from year to year still matter to collectors. That means the regular business strike coins from Philly and Denver are very common, especially in circulated condition. So, how much is a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar worth in circulated condition? In average circulated condition, most 1974 Kennedy half-dollars are worth just face value, 50 cents. If your coin is in better condition, maybe AU, about uncirculated, or low-end mint state, it might be worth around $1 to $2. A brilliant uncirculated example from a roll might go $4.03 to $5 depending on the quality. If you have a San Francisco proof coin from 1974 with an S mint mark, it could be worth $4 to $8, depending on how well it was preserved. While the 1974 Kennedy half is common, always check for error coins or double die varieties. These can sneak into circulation and be worth $20, $50, or even hundreds of dollars if verified. 1 known variety includes double die obverse, DDO, where the date or the word Liberty appears slightly doubled. If you spot something odd, it's worth getting it checked out by a grading service. Despite being common, many collectors still include the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar in their collections because of its historical significance and the nostalgia of the Kennedy era. Roll hunters and new collectors often start with coins like this because they're easy to find, affordable, and loaded with history. Oh, there you have it. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, a powerful piece of American history, widely circulated, and still turning heads 50 years later. While most of these coins are only worth face value, the story behind them is priceless. The Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a coin. It's a powerful symbol of American history and emotion. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963. The nation was in mourning, and there was a strong desire to honor the late president in a meaningful and lasting way. Originally, there was discussion about using his image on the quarter, but Jacqueline Kennedy requested the half-dollar instead, so it wouldn't replace George Washington. With her approval, the Mint quickly redesigned the 50-cent piece, and by early 1964, the Kennedy half-dollar was released. The original 1964 coins were struck in 90% silver, which made them both valuable and widely hoarded. People loved the design and sentiment so much that the coins were rarely seen in circulation, as many were saved as keepsakes. Due to the rising cost of silver, by 1965, the U.S. Mint reduced the silver content to 40%, and starting in 1971, the Kennedy half-dollar became a copper-nickel-clad coin, just like today's dimes and quarters. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar follows this composition, meaning no silver content. It was struck for general circulation and is one of the more common dates. The year 1974 was a turbulent one in U.S. history. The nation was facing the Watergate scandal, which would lead to President Nixon's resignation, a sluggish economy, and inflation issues, ongoing Cold War tensions. Yet, the Kennedy half-dollar continued to be minted and circulated as a stable, iconic symbol during a time of national uncertainty. The obverse was designed by Gilroy Roberts, based on a bust he had previously created for Kennedy's presidential medal. The reverse, by Frank Gasparo, features the presidential seal, an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing war and peace. Though the design has had minor tweaks over the years, it has largely remained the same, making the coin instantly recognizable to generations of Americans. Although Kennedy half-dollars have been struck every year since 1964, they are rarely seen in daily circulation today. Since the 1980s, most of them go directly to collectors, making circulated examples from earlier years, like 1974, even more nostalgic. If you learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to, and drop a comment if you have a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar in your collection. Who knows, you might be sitting on a hidden gem. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep collecting and keep exploring.